Hey, my name is Dalton, and I'm the SuperNerd. This is the first in a video series that I'm going to start, and I'm just going to talk about nerd news, my review of movies and stuff, and I just want to let you guys know that I am a huge nerd. In fact, I am big fan of Marvel. Yeah, and well, let's see how it goes. This video is probably going to be bad because it's my first video, so if I mess up, I'm sorry. Anyways, today I'm talking about the Wolverine. Yes, this is my review to the Wolverine movie that I saw yesterday. Yeah, I saw it yesterday, which was Saturday. Anyways, a lot of stuff that was really weird. One thing I don't know is I saw like the mid-credit scene. If you guys, I didn't get to stay till the very end, so I don't know if there was another end-credit scene like after all the credits. So if you guys would tell me if there is, I'll take that into consideration, and maybe I can beg again to go back and see the Wolverine. But let's talk about it. Major plot hole. I don't know if everybody else has figured this out. They may have tried to explain it in the movie, but they didn't do it very well. And by the way, this is going to have a lot of spoilers in this, so if you don't like spoilers, just stop watching this video now. So, in the beginning, we all know there's that scene in Nagasaki when the Wolverine saves that guy from the atomic bomb explosion at the end of World War II. And then later, when he wakes up, because it's apparently a memory, and Jean Grey's ghost is beside him, which is weird, she says, "Where were you?" And he says, "Nagasaki." And she says, "Wow, that far back," like he remembers it. And later in the movie, he goes back to the site, and he goes back to Nagasaki, and he finds exactly where he hid with that guy to save his life. And it's very weird, and here's why. Okay, if you haven't seen X-Men Origins Wolverine, it's probably because you heard of all the bad reviews it got. But I'm saying, if you want to understand Wolverine, you should go see it. Like, you should go buy it or rent it or whatever. You need to see it now because there's a lot of stuff in it that relates to the new Wolverine movie. But in X-Men Origins Wolverine, what ends up happening is at the end of the movie, he gets shot in the head twice with adamantium bullets. And, he's able to heal from that. But what happens is he loses all his memory. And it's completely weird. Because in the Wolverine, he somehow has that memory back. And, there is this possibility that his memories could start coming back to him piece by piece in his dreams. But he did act like he remembered all of his war stories and all of his life before. And, once he went to the site, he possibly could have remembered more. But I just don't think that was explained enough in the movie. So, major plot hole there. But, I haven't read the Wolverine book by Frank Miller that this movie was based on, so if I do see some stuff that you guys are like, well, duh, that was in the comic book, I don't know. And if you're like, why hasn't he read the comic if he's a huge Marvel fan? It's mostly because I just spend most of my time trying to catch up with the Marvel Universe. I rarely find myself going back, like to the 80s or 90s, whenever that was printed. They put a sort of C-list, D-list villain in it, I actually think that might be because I'm pretty sure Viper was in the new Deadpool game, and I really think that might have been why they put it in there, because there's a lot of Marvel fans. I mean, there's a lot of non-Marvel fans that would play the Deadpool game, and they'll be like, who's Viper? And then they go see the X-Men movies because they know it's related to Deadpool, and they find out who Viper is. I think that was one reason they might have put her in there. Otherwise, she was kind of overused and a completely pathetic villain that didn't really have any motivation at all, except she's working for her boss. And it kind of seemed weird because she seemed so cruel and evil, and yet it was just she was working for her boss in the end. Another thing I liked about the movie was the subplot. I admit some of the romance was a little off balance and it didn't make any sense, but one subplot was he wanted to die because he wanted to be with Jean Grey in heaven, which didn't seem like it was real. I mean, I don't really think Jean Grey would be begging him to go to heaven, to go to wherever she was like that, because she would have Cyclops, because she technically killed Cyclops. I really think it was just a hallucination for him. But throughout the movie, he actually kind of gets over Cyclops. I mean, he actually kind of gets over Jean and the Phoenix, and he kind of says, you know what, that happened, that had to happen. I had to kill her so the world could survive, and I'm going to get over it, and I need to let her go. And I really like the fact that he dug deep, and to save Mariko and Yukio and a lot of people, he just decided to let it go and decided to go back to justice and not continuously try to kill himself. Also, at the end of the movie, he got his adamantium claws chopped off by the Silver Samurai with an adamantium sword that heated up and just chopped them off. And of course, his healing factor made them grow back, but without the adamantium. And I thought, well, that makes sense, because, the adamantium was grafted onto his body in X-Men Origins Wolverine, and it shouldn't, be able to grow itself with the bones. But here's the thing. In X-Men Days of Future Past, how are they going to make that work? I mean, if you want a good Wolverine movie, you need to have him with his adamantium or any type of metal claws. Because, really, X-Men Origins did horrible, and that wasn't just because of not having metal claws, but, this iconic image of Wolverine is just him with his metal claws chopping everything up like it's paper, and I don't think it's gonna work in X-Men Days of Future Past if he doesn't have metal claws, but we'll see what ends up happening. There was another plot hole in it too, because, when towards the final battle scene, Wolverine is going to save Mariko, and he's going to the big building where the final battle is going to be. So he's going through the village to get to the building, and a bunch of ninjas attack him, and he ends up fainting because one of the arrows had Viper's venom in it or something, and he gets taken up there. Then Yukio comes later because she's worried about Wolverine, and she just rides up to the front gate in a motorcycle and breaks in with her sword. There are absolutely no ninjas guarding the building after the Wolverine comes in. And they should have all known that Yukio was going to come after Wolverine, because that's what she's been doing the whole movie. It kind of seemed really stupid at some points. But overall, I do think it was a good movie. It was certainly better than X-Men Origins Wolverine. Yeah, I guess. And it did feel like a solo movie. I really think 20th Century Fox is trying to relate to the Avengers Marvel Cinematic Universe, because they really want to compete with them, and so this didn't feel more like an X-Men movie. It felt more like a solo movie about the Wolverine. And I think X-Men Origins Wolverine was just that. It could have been an X-Men Origins movie. Based on this movie, I think they're probably going to start making some other origin or spin-off movies for the X-Men characters, because they want to be a lot like Marvel Studios. But, I guess that's all I have to say about the Wolverine, except I did like most of it. I liked the action, and a lot of people say the action was, bad, and it looked like it was not choreographed well, and I thought it was pretty good. I especially liked the train ride. I really loved the 3D in that. So, tell me what you think of my video. Tell me if you want more. Tell me if you want less. And next video, I'll talk about the Gravity Falls season finale. Okay, bye.